What is a self-made man if not somebody who wasn't given success but had to take it himself? Although we agree with the notion that nobody, whether he, she, or they, is completely self-made, that almost every successful individual had help in their journey, there is a noticeable difference between people who start from scratch on their own and build versus those who've had some doors pre-open for them. That's what we're looking to break down for you today, A-Luxers. We're fascinated by how one person can go from zero and build incredible things worthy of praise. Because our own journey has been like that, we've learned the hard way what it's like to go through the entire process, which is why today we're taking a look at 15 steps to be self-made. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Step 1. Find successful people that are living the life you want. This is the notion of finding your goal. When you're starting out, you simply don't know just how much you don't know, so the easiest way to get started is by identifying a shining light in the distance. This is your North Star. It's the life you want to end up living, or at least guide you until you figure it out for yourself. If you want to achieve your goal, you must first define what the goal is precisely. In our experience, the easiest way to do this is to find people who are living the lifestyle that you desire for yourself. Once you do, you'll have your starting position and a direction. Step 2. Study these self-made successful people. This is the notion of learning the rules of the game. These people got to where they are by following a set of steps, by doing some things differently than others. Your job is to identify as many of these things that they do which led them to be in the position they are. If you want to be rich, you first have to study the rich. Because you look up to them, this process will be enjoyable to you, while for others it might look like work. Step 3. Break down what their life is and what they do. This is the notion of learn how to apply the rules. Some people call them rules, others call them principles, values, or whatever you find fitting enough. These are fundamental building blocks on which these people have built their life. This is a crucial differentiator between them and everyone else. Look at how they act, how they behave, what they do, how they think, how they look at life, how they set goals, what their habits are, anything that can be translated back to you. Successful people have a recipe for their success. Learn it. Step 4. Emulate successful people to the best of your ability. This is the notion of applying the rules. Or to put it simply, do the things that these people do yourself at your own level. Apply the recipe. Do these people read books? Then you have to read books. Do they wake up early? Then you wake up early. Do they work 80 hours a week toward their next goal? Then you work 80 hours. How many hours do they practice their craft every single day? Now, you do the same. The goal is to get your mind and body used to the motions. You're not going to tackle the same kind of problems as Elon, but tackle the problems you have in front of yourself. Get the website up. Build that content calendar. Write a page per day. Take 30 photos every day. Edit for at least an hour a day. This is where people give up. Everybody knows that exercise and quality food will help you lose fat, but it's the motion of putting it into practice the same way that other people who have succeeded are that's keeping you back. This is why people say success is a mental challenge. It might be hard physically to maybe wake up early every day, but your mind gives up before your body does. Step 5. Build a milestone system for yourself. This is the notion of not chasing the horizon. No matter how quickly you sprint or how long you run, you'll never reach the horizon, no matter what flat earthers believe, because the horizon is a direction, not a destination. Even if you get to it, you won't know you achieved it because it's as far away from you as it was when you took your first step. That's why you breaking it down into milestones is such an important part of the journey. It helps you keep track of how far and how quickly you're moving. People always set stupid goals. They say they want to become a billionaire and stop there. $1 billion is a goal someone who's worth something between $250 to $500 million should set for themselves. Goals are medium-term objectives that are just out of someone's current reach. You want to be a billionaire but struggle to pay rent? Your first goal should be to become a thousander. Make $50,000 more than you did last year. That's a good goal. The process of getting from 0 to 50,000 will teach you what you're missing that will allow you to go from 50 to 250 long-term objective should never be a number. Instead, have it be a version of reality that you are fulfilled with. Because then you're just playing a game of how big is my number, and there's always going to be a higher number than the one you set first. We've read every book on goal setting for our next course, Goal Mastery, and we're shocked by the triviality of the information and the lack of concrete advice. People don't want or need mumbo-jumbo crystal magnets for success. They want to know how they can get to a point where they don't have to worry about bills, so they can finally focus their energy on growth. This is why the course is like Luxers. Everything out there is 80% bullshit or super basic stuff like writing down your goals, and we don't want to release yet another one just to have a quick money grab, because that's not what we do. If you're going to pay your hard-earned money for something, we feel responsible to deliver more value than you paid for. Otherwise, it's just a scam. So thank you to those who are patiently on our waiting list at alux.com/goals. We're working hard to make the wait well worth it. Number 6, embrace the boring. The boring stuff will take you to where you need to go. No matter what you want to do, it will take time. We wish we could tell you there's a secret method to get things done quickly and effectively, but there just isn't. Your creativity, your drive, your intellect, these are all just multipliers to the boring things you have to do every single day. Changing your life takes time because it requires you to keep changing small things about yourself and sticking with them for extended periods. Money, wealth, success, health, even happiness are very much time-consuming efforts. It takes effort to solve the problem of making money. It takes effort to get into shape. It takes effort to be happy. Effort means doing things that are outside of your comfortable self. Your only job is to not allow that pesky demon you have in the back of your mind who tells you you've done a great job so far, you can take the day off, to shut up. Screw that demon. Step 7. You become a builder. Self-made people are always builders. They build their life. They build businesses. They build things that have value. In order to be great in life, you need 2 things. 1, to know how to build. 2, to know how to sell. But the first one is a lot more valuable than the second, at least in the long term. Think of the people you identified earlier today and just how much they've been able to build. Now think about that lifestyle you said you want for yourself. What would it take to build that? You don't start with the entire home. You build the foundation, build the structure, build the roof, put in the walls. You see, Aluxers, everyone loves a beautiful and comfortable home. But while your eye is drawn to the furniture or the smaller details, you are not there to see the hard work that went into the structural beams and the digging that's being done to have the foundation put in place. That's the very same with life. Step 8. Push yourself. In our experience, self-made people have this second gear in their brain that they can turn on if they have to. Do you know how many times we wanted to procrastinate? To say, we've come far enough. How many times our minds went into that very familiar mode of, this looks hard, time-consuming, and I don't really feel like it. That's when you push that button. That's when you go into second gear, the one that makes you put in the work despite not feeling like it. Progress is done in the days you wanted to skip. Everyone has that button in their brain. You might not have found yours yet, but it's there. You can do a lot more than you think you can. Statistically, people quit at 30% of their ability. This applies to pain, hardships, hard work, creativity, and more. You enter this second stage when you realize it's more important that you be successful than it is to watch another episode or play another round. Find that button. Push it on the days you don't feel like putting in the work, and that is how you'll make something of yourself. Step 9. Delay gratification. You're not a dog. You don't need a treat every time you do a trick. Life is a strategy game, and your goal is to win the game. Sometimes in chess, you have to sacrifice a few pawns to make progress. What are the small things you're willing to sacrifice to get that big win? The concept of delaying gratification, or trading with the future as we like to call it, is something every self-made individual has been able to successfully use. I don't eat the cookie now, and because of it, I'll have a lot of cake I can share with everyone later. Building yourself isn't a linear process. Progress is very slow in the beginning, but it starts to snowball once you hit a certain point. This is why rich people are getting even richer. So delay gratification until you have your own snowball. Step 10. You specialize in 2 or 3 things. When people hear about specialization, they think about only one thing. You master something and become really good at it. This used to work in small communities where you would basically dominate your small local market. The best shoemaker got all the customers, the best baker sold the most bread, and so on. Then came the internet, and you're no longer competing with just the folks around you. In order to have a competitive advantage, it's no longer enough to be really good at one thing. Being really good at a single thing makes you a valuable and hard to replace employee. Being really good at 2 or 3 things allows these skills to be leveraged one on top of the other. Self-made doesn't mean every single thing you do yourself. Self-made means your skill set is enough to carry you into the future that you want. You need to understand that it's no longer enough to be really good at just one thing. The trifecta when it comes to a winning strategy is as follows. One skill that allows you to build something of value. One skill that allows you to communicate or relate to other people why it's valuable. And one skill that allows you to expand yourself from a creativity perspective. This is the part where we would have loved to recommend a book that goes into detail, but we haven't read or even found one in our research. The closest we came to is Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers book. He's the guy who made famous the idea that it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. Outliers is one of our favorite books, and you can get the audiobook for free if you go to alux.com/freebook right now, and this is the first time you sign up. Our friends at Audible have got you covered. Step 11. Reinvest strategically. This step builds on top of everything you've learned so far. Many people make mistakes at this point, so we recommend you pay attention. To simplify it, we'll use a metaphor. Let's say you live somewhere extremely cold and you need wood to keep you and your family warm. The smart person goes out and cuts 2 trees. One to keep the current fire going, and one you save up on the side. The side one is just as important as the main one. This mistake people make is they ignore one of the 2. Stop putting wood on your main fire and soon you'll die of hypothermia. Not have enough reserves or a safety net, and when, not if, when the hard times hit, you'll at least have a fighting chance. Self-made people focus their efforts on the main thing they're building, but some of the outcomes need to be separated into a safety net outside of the main one. Step 12. You hire people to do things you find boring or hard. By now, you've specialized and are incredibly good at some things. These are the big moves that push you further in life. But the road isn't as even as you would expect. There are time-consuming tasks that you probably dread. When you're doing the things you're good at, time is irrelevant. You're almost having fun doing it. What for others looks like hard work, for you is basically play. That's where you thrive. Do that. Then find people who enjoy or at least are good at doing the things you shouldn't be doing yourself. Successful self-made people always build strong teams around them. Step 13. You constantly dream bigger and you're on to the next level. We're going to tell you a secret from the future. The hunger never goes away. You just want better food. The moment you hit a milestone, new doors open up ahead, filling you with excitement. What else can I do? Holy shit, if I do this, I might be able to do that. If you fall in love with the process, with the journey, very much like a game, you're no longer competing for survival. You're competing to see how far you can take it. You're like Michael Jordan trying to constantly top himself. Chained people don't know what lies above the clouds, but you got a glimpse of yourself, and there's not a chance you're stopping halfway. Step 14. You don't give up. You adapt or adjust. One of the biggest traits of self-made individuals is their determination to never quit. Here's one of the greatest examples of all time. Here's a teary-eyed Elon Musk talking about how his 3rd attempt at spaceflight failed and all his idols turned against him and told him he should just pack up and go.
I'll never give up. I'd have to be dead or doing faster.
You face life with everything she plans to throw at you. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Get back up and prove them wrong. Not for them, but for yourself. This is your journey. Don't let anyone else write your story for you. Step 15. You carry the torch. Everything in life is cyclical in nature. That's how life and existence have been designed to be. The first step in this video was about finding the people who inspire you, who are doing the things worth looking up to. Every self-made individual that drew inspiration from others has the responsibility of carrying that torch for the next generation. Become the inspiration you needed when you were starting out. What a great moment to come back to the present, to you listening or watching this right now. What is your purpose, Amuxer? Stealing a page out of Lucifer's book? What is it that you truly desire from this life? Put it down in words in the comments. It would mean a lot to hear that our message came across. For those of you who are our regulars, thank you for always watching until the end of each video. Here's a bonus golden nugget that we reserved just for you. Do not play status games. You're not here to impress anyone. This is one of the biggest traps in the world, and this was never as relevant as it is today. The goal is to not look rich, but to be rich. The goal isn't for other people to think that you're happy, but to be happy. To not worry about what other people think of you or where you're going. They're not going in the same direction anyway, so it's not like you're going to meet them when you hit your destination. You want other people to know you're doing well? Believe me, they'll notice without you having to lift a finger. For them, you not caring about what they think of you is a cultural shock. A culture breathing by constant hits of endorphins and feedback loops we're getting mainly from social media, but also our peers. The moment you begin playing status games, your fire is slowly going out. You're too busy telling the world how warm you are, when in reality there aren't many logs on the fire. People always say they want to be rich in Vegas. The great advice is, try rich first and see if you're willing to add fame to the equation. You want to be rich and anonymous, not famous and poor. Do not play status games. They won't amount to anything. They won't make you happy. They won't make you healthier. They won't make you a better partner or friend. Status is the most destructive thing people have been trying to force since the beginning of time. We're expecting this message to hit the right people. Those of you who will be really happy, fulfilled, and successful, while everybody else will be too busy faking it. If the bonus point hit you differently, please write the word status in the comments next to today's answer. That way we know you're not interested in playing status games, and instead you're here to help yourself be better than the person you were yesterday. And because of the effort you've made today, you're worth